Hello everyone, welcome to Pratibha Tech. In this video, we will solve the problem of the day question on Geeks for Geeks for 11th February 2023. The problem statement for today says minimum days. This problem is based on string permutations and data structures. So let's open this problem. We will first go through the problem statement clearly. The problem statement says given a string s of length n containing only lowercase alphabet, you are also given a permutation p of length n containing integers from 0 to n minus 1. In I plus 1th day, you can take p of I value of the permutation array and replace s of p of I with a question mark. Okay, so it is saying that on any day, that means if you are starting with 0, so I plus 1, that means on the first day I can take the value of p of I and we have to replace that index element in string with a question mark. Okay, so let's go ahead. For example, in day 1 we can choose an index of permutation array is I is equal to 0 and replace s of p of 0 with question mark. Similarly, in day 2 we can choose index of permutation array is 1, I is equal to 1. We can replace s of p of 1 with a question mark. Similarly, on day 3 we can choose index of permutation array I is equal to 2. We can replace s of p of 2 with a question mark. So it is clearly saying that just iterate through this one, and whatever the value, whatever the index position you get from this one, suppose you are getting 2 here while iterating with this permutation array. So replace that particular index element in index character in string with a question mark. So if you are selecting 2 here, so in day 1 we replace s of, in this example it is given that if we, in day 1 we replace s of p of 0 with question mark. After that string becomes a question mark b. So if we take this example, it's 2. So if you look at this index position 2, this b will come here. So it is directly replacing that with question mark. Then in day 2 we can replace s of p of 1, that means s of p of 1, that means this element with question mark. That means at this end, at index position 1, whatever we get in this string function, is in this string value, that index position value we have to replace with a question mark. After that the string becomes a question mark and b. As we can see, the string has for all index 0 to n, if s of I not equal to question mark, then s of I not equal to s of I plus 1. So here we can see after we have done these two operation with day 1 and day 2, now we can see that wherever we are finding any variable without question mark, that means s of I is not question mark. So in that one there is no such instances that s of I is not equal to s of I plus 1. That means there won't be any instances where the values will be consecutive. So we have to solve this problem with this approach only, with this idea only, this approach solution only. So let's start with this one. But here, instead of we doing what it is said directly in the question, we will just go through a little different approach. Here it is directly saying that in day 1 we can directly replace this value with s of p of 0 with a question mark. That means we are iterating over this permutation array and we keep on incrementing, we keep on replacing the value in a string with question mark in the respective index what we get from p of this permutation array. But instead of we doing this way, what I'll do, I'll first try that how many instances are there where two elements are consecutive. That means two consecutive elements are same, two consecutive characters are same. So when I get that one, then after that I'll iterate through the loop and I'll just check if at any point if currently I'm at this point, then I'll see if any of the element, whether a character before that or a character after that, if that is equal to the same element in reference, then I can replace that element with a question mark. And with this each approach, I'll just try decrementing that counter which we have got initially. That will show how many instances we have to, how many operations we need to perform. So for this one, so here we can see we have two instances where two consecutive characters are same. So here we will initially we will get 2. So now after each iteration we will try replacing the value with question mark, and with each character getting replaced with question mark, I'll just make that counter decrement by 1, and once we get counter becoming 0, then we can say that we have made all the operations successfully. That means now we do not, in this string S, we do not have any two consecutive characters that are of same value, and that is not having this question mark in between or at that location. So with this approach only, let's start our coding here. So just for the initially, first just to count that how many such occurrences, that means how many operations we need to perform, that we will initialize with 0 as a counter variable, saying int count is equal to 0. Then we will start our for loop saying integer I is equal to 1, I less than n, I less than n, I plus plus. See, here we are starting with 1 because it is clearly said that in I plus 1th day, that means I plus first day. So if you are taking at index 0, so that will be considered as the operation for the day 1. So for that only we are considering starting with our loop with I is equal to 1. Now here we need to check. We will check at how many instances are there where s dot char at caret of I is equal to s dot caret at I minus 1. So we are starting with 1, so we will just look at the previous instance. So we will just increment the counter for this. So this will give how many such occurrences are there where two consecutive positions have the same value. So once this is done, then what we can do, to iterate over all the characters of the particular string, we will convert it to character array, string to character array, saying s dot to char array. With changing it to char array, it becomes very easy to iterate at its position, because that entire element of a particular string or entire characters of a particular string, that is converted to a character array form. So we can easily access those characters using index values. So for that reason I have converted to this one. Now here I am initializing a variable I with 0. This is for tracking with each operation whether we are crossing the number of characters given there. That means it will just check whether we have exceeded the length of n, whatever is given in the question. So I'll just check here with while loop. Here, do the following operation, whatever we will write in this while loop, till the point when I is equal to n and count not equal to 0. So as I told while explaining through the example, while going through the example, that we will first count that how many scenarios are there, then we will perform our operation of replacing that particular character where it is consecutive with a question mark, and we will decrement that value, and once it is becoming 0, then we can say that we have replaced all instances with a question mark where two consecutive letters were having the same value. That means two characters, consecutive characters were same. So with this, if this condition is true, then we need to perform certain operation. Then we can just check if already this array, if that array at particular position, whatever it mentioned in the question, that what is the particular position, that is particular position, that index which we are getting from permutation array. So we will check. See, okay, I've written wrong bracket here. So instead of if ch of p of I, then we will get the index location from p of I, and we are checking that variable in this character array which we have got after converting string to it. If this is already not equal to a question mark, see, if it is already a question mark, then we do not have to do anything. But if it is not a question mark, then we need to check again. If p of I plus 1 is less than n and ch of p of I is equal to ch of p of I plus 1. So here we are checking that till the point this index position, whatever index position we are getting, it should not exceed the value of n. See, because we will be checking at this particular index, whatever index position we are getting here, that will be checking in this one. But if suppose we get here index position as 5 and in this string only that index is not present, so we cannot perform that operation. So we are checking that if p and I plus 1, if it is less than n, we are going up to I plus 1 because we are going to check the value up to plus 1 here. We are checking in that character array where the character at particular location of p of I is equal to p of I plus 1. P of I plus 1. Okay, I think I have given some extra bracket here. P of I and ch of p of I plus 1. Yeah, okay. So once this is done, that means we have got our condition true. That means we have found first instances where we need to make the conversion. So here we will just do count minus minus. Similarly, what we can do, copy this again. Now we have to check for minus 1 also. Minus 1. See, because at any given instance, suppose we are at this location, then we are not sure whether the consecutive, that means at the next location where we have the same character is before this location or after this location. So here in this example, if you are considering this index, then we see A is before that, and if you consider first instance, then we see A is after that. So we might get any situation there. So here also we have to check. We have to replace this one with greater than equal to 0. That means we cannot check anything which is having any index as minus. So we can maximum to the left side we can go up to index 0 and right side we will go up to index n. So that's why we will have this check p of I minus 1 greater than equal to 0 and p of chi plus 1 here. Instead of, we are again comparing the present character with the one previous than that. If even this is fine, even this is done, then we can again decrement the count by 1. Okay, so here this is done up to this much. Now here comes our operation. Here, see, here we are just decrementing the counter whatever we have got initially, but see what is our condition here, where count is equal to 0 and we are having this check. If this is not question mark, so we need to, wherever we got this situation favorable, that is we have to decrement the counter, we can replace that particular variable with question mark. So we can write ch of p of I is equal to a question mark. Then just increment this counter of variable I, saying that how many such operations we are performing. We started with 0. So now after each such operation we are incrementing the counter and just saying that with each this count variable going down, we'll just increment, saying that we have performed one operation just now, and till the point we will get this count as 0. Then whatever value we have got till that point, we will just return from here, return I. Okay, so I'm pretty well done with my coding. So let's try compiling this code. Okay, so we have got some exception here. Here it is saying line number 82 and 85. Sorry. If P of I plus 1 less than n and character array of P of I double equal to this, then perform count minus minus. If P of I minus 1, if this value is greater than 1, okay, I think some okay, this bracket is ending directly here. Okay, so I need to give another bracket here. So this bracket will be for evaluating this expression, and this outer bracket will be for this. Let's check in the previous instances here. Okay, so here also I've done the mistake. So P of I plus 1, that has to be less than n, and this condition. So the entire condition, or both these condition, has to be in if block. Now let's try again compiling the code. Okay, so that was the issue with the mismatch of the bracket. So here we can see we have got our output. So now let's try submitting the solution. So here we can see we have got all test case passed. So we have solved this problem successfully. Yeah, so that's all in this video. Please like, comment and share the video, and please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.